All right, here we go, Math Geniuses. Start of our fun, incredibly long journey of learning here. Wonderful subject of geometry. I'm really thrilled to have you guys, and this is going to be fun. Remember, I'm totally available to help you guys out, answer questions if you're having trouble with problems. Remember what I said, this class, pretty much everybody that has ever had this class, and this is my 17th year teaching this class, 17th time through this. Pretty much everybody has a bump in the road. And I know that can be hard sometimes because you haven't had that probably in your math career. So just remember, I'm here for you. Contact time, setting up an appointment, whatever. Let's do it. I mean, I'm here to help. I have a real passion for this. I want to do this. I want to make this a great experience for you. And I think it will be. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a challenge, but are you up for it? Absolutely. All right, let's jump in, just kind of get your feet wet here. You already read a little bit about chapter 1, hopefully. Small section. We're going to kind of breeze through this. This will be one of our shorter lessons of the year. Okay, so get your break notes. Again, I want you printing these out. I want you saving them in your notebook. And, we'll have talked about how that all works at this point. But okay, so geometry. I haven't shared my screen with you. That would probably be helpful. Let's share the screen so you can see the notes as we go through them. Okay, so geometry, it's important to know how it's organized. And what's really cool about it is that all of geometry kind of branches from these 3 undefined terms that we're going to go through. And it's kind of weird because we almost are defining them, but it's kind of like the basis. And everything from that expands upon itself. And once we prove something, then our knowledge kind of ball gets bigger. Our geometric sphere of knowledge is what I like to call it. Gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And soon you're going to be walking around your house or campus or wherever, with these massive noggins that are just full of your geometric sphere of knowledge. So anyway, but it all starts small. We're starting with an infinitesimal little tiny ball dot. All right. So anyway, our first undefined term is a point, and it is a position in space. Okay. It has no area. Yes, sure. It looks like that point right there, that little dot has area, right? It's, whatever millimeters wide, sure, it does have area, but it's really just so that we can visualize it. I want you to understand that a point is just a position in space. It doesn't technically have area. Usually we label points with a capital letter. So in this case, this is point A, okay? All right, line is our second undefined term, and that's a line. What do the arrows mean? Goes on forever. Now, interestingly, infinite, right? Goes on forever. And it's straight. Interestingly, we are going to be studying a type of geometry called Euclidean geometry. There is such a thing as non-Euclidean geometry, and this is going to blow your mind. The first of many things that will blow your mind in this class. In non-Euclidean geometry, there is no assumption or understanding, a basic understanding, that lines are straight. They can be curved. Think about that for a second. Think about what our world would kind of be like, or what we would know about math and how it might all change if we didn't realize or didn't have the understanding that lines are defined to be straight. They're just, they are straight. Okay. And they also try to fit this. And yeah, they go in 2 directions, obviously. Okay. And then we have third form. Undefined term that we're going to describe as a plane. And it's not one of these plane. It's a flat surface. So think of the computer screen you're looking at right now. If that could extend to the left and to the right and up and then down forever, that would be a plane. We usually use a parallelogram to represent a plane. And we'll see more of that kind of as we go. It's infinite. Like I said, it basically cuts all of space into two sides. What's on one side of the plane, what's on the other. And we'll definitely talk about plane separation and space separation. It has no thickness again. No thickness. Okay. So those are three undefined terms. Okay. And then we have something called definitions, right? And definitions, example is space. It's the final frontier from Star Trek. For those fans of Star Trek that we have in the class. But space is basically a set of all points. That's an example of what a definition is, okay? And then we also have these items called postulates. And you're gonna really like postulates because postulates is something assumed to be true without proof, okay? So you don't have to prove it. And I'm sure you've heard in geometry, you know, we have these things called theorems that we actually do prove. And we'll climb Proof Mountain together. Oh man, we're gonna have such a good time. We're gonna get to know each other. It's a real bonding kind of wonderful experience that we do. But theorems are statements we prove. Okay. So why might it be important to kind of have this basic understanding of the organization of geometry and some of these kind of undefined terms and so forth? Well, it's important. Common sense is important. So it's important to kind of understand how things fit in the hierarchy and how things began. And also, it's better to be organized. I think you'll find that with me, that I love organization. And then this isn't really why it's important, but anyway, Euclid is the father of geometry. And the treatise he wrote was called The Elements, basically kind of describing geometry and kind of setting it forth. And that would be, again, Euclidean geometry, right? Where we assume lines are straight and so forth. And he was from Greece. He's great about that. A lot of times you'll see like homework number 2 here. These are from the notes. These don't necessarily correspond to what we will be doing in class, especially this year with Kevin class kind of almost every other day and so forth. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of times this will match up with what some of your homework is, but if it's different than what's on Schoology, you go with what's on Schoology. So we can almost really kind of think of like just kind of covering that up. All right. So that's it for chapter 1. Wow, gosh, that was quick. We did a whole chapter already, one day. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and we will continue on. Yay, go honors geometry.